Hey there, real estate enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a crucial aspect of real estate investing, seller financing. If you've ever wondered how to navigate this powerful strategy, you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 key questions you need to ask a seller if they're interested in seller financing a property. These questions will lay the groundwork for structuring a deal that works for both parties. So grab a pen and paper because you won't want to miss this. Okay, so what is seller financing? Seller financing just means that the seller is providing me as the buyer financing for the loan, so I don't have to go to any banks. I work with the seller directly. This creates a win-win scenario for both parties. In this video, like I said, I'm going to give you the questions that you have to ask the seller when they're considering seller financing. And this is actually just going to be part 1 of this series. Whereas in part 2, I'm going to break down the exact structure. Once you find out the answers to the questions in this video, you're going to want to structure it using that second video. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification to be notified. That way you can find your next seller finance deal. So as far as the questions that you need to ask the seller if they're considering seller financing, here are the 4 questions broken down. Question number 1, what is your loan balance? It's super important to understand if the seller has a loan balance on their property so that you know if they're going to be able to seller finance all of it or just a portion of it. Their loan balance is going to give you an overview of how you're able to structure the loan. Imagine if a seller had no mortgage whatsoever, you can pretty much structure it however you want, and that's the best case scenario. Now, question number 2 is, what is your interest rate and is it fixed or adjustable? It's super important to understand exactly what interest rate the seller is paying. That way, you know how much of the principal you're paying down and how much of the interest you're paying down. The interest rate will then affect the monthly payment, which is also another super important thing you need to know, because if they have an existing loan on the property, then you for sure have to at least pay them what their monthly payment is and what their interest rate is. The lower the interest rate, obviously, the better, the more attractive the deal is for both parties. Now, question number 3 is, what is your total monthly payment? This is a tie-on to the last question. You need to understand exactly what the seller is paying, including all interest, taxes, insurance, and even association fees, if any. This monthly payment will impact the feasibility of seller financing and the potential terms of the deal, which, like I said, once you find out this information, I'm going to show you how to apply it in part 2 of this series. Now, question number 4 is, when does your loan mature? If their loan just started, then it's going to be 30 years until this loan is matured. Versus, let's say that the loan started 25 years ago, then you know for sure it's going to be paid off in the next 5 years. And typically when it comes to a loan, you're mostly paying interest in the first part of the loan versus at the end of the loan, you're paying a lot of the principal amount down. So it's better if you actually have a loan from a seller that's near its loan maturity date. So that's it. Those are the 4 questions that you need to ask a seller if they're interested in seller financing. That way you're able to structure the loan, because without this information, you're not able to create a win-win scenario that's actually realistic based off of the present situation itself. And that wraps up today's video, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, because part 2 is going to be dropping next week, and I'm going to actually dive deep into how you can use this information to create an offer that's a win-win scenario for both parties. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next video. Shoots!